let's talk about Duke, which is a great tell that everything's going to be the exact same as it normally is, because boy, do we love talking about Duke, especially on a night like tonight when Duke loses in overtime at Florida State. What to you is the story? I guess Trevor Keels getting hurt is kind of going to be the big picture story. Certainly, I think looking forward.
I think that's the first thing that Coach K brings up. Yeah,
that's probably the big picture story. But I'm not even talking. I'm not talking about Trevor Keels losing. Trevor Keels hurt Duke in this game, because actually I think it sort of helped because they just went zone.
Yeah,
and kind of got back into it by playing zone. But certainly as you look at the rest of Duke's season, I mean, it was an ankle, right? It looked like an ankle.
I think so. He came back to the bench, but he was in the street clothes. But you asked the big picture. The big picture of this whole conversation is that the AP poll has one ACC team.
Yeah.
And that one ACC team is the Duke Blue Devils. And they are supposed to be powered by the Coach K Farewell Tour, which was going to end in the same way that John Wooden walked away from the game, in a national title. That was the narrative. That was the plan. And we love when a plan comes together. But unfortunately, right now, the plan is in disarray. And I don't know what the answer is for Coach K. I don't know what the answer is for the ACC. But in general, the conference, the sky is falling. You know what I mean?
I don't want to be a complete alarmist.
No.
Because
I'm looking at the sky and it's breaking, and I am looking up. They told me don't look up, but I'm looking up. And I see the snow globe cracking.
I definitely like to give you jabs about Carolina, about the ACC, especially as it pertains to the Big Ten.
That's part of the show.
That's part of the show.
Yeah.
But we're at a point. We're at a point now, Tay, where I'm like, I don't know if I should be making these jokes anymore, because I'm genuinely worried about the ACC. I mean, for God's sakes, have you seen the state of what's going on with Louisville with Chris Mack? Right now.
Trust me. I'm aware.
Which Louisville is
that's
way
periphery.
over there. That's way over there, but it's still happening.
It's everywhere.
And then the thing that's in our face is Duke, which is Duke is, boy, people are trying, Tate. They're trying to make Duke good this year. They're trying to.
We are. I'm here. I'm trying to shoot them to the moon.
The bracketologies are coming out, and Duke is somehow a 1 seed on all of these bracketologies. They have no good wins left on the schedule. You look at their I don't know how they're going to help their resume.
But they beat the number 1 team.
But they have beat Gonzaga. They have beat Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
They've now lost to Miami and Florida State and Ohio State. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Point is, when I watch Duke, and it wasn't just tonight, it's in general, obviously they're good, quote unquote. They're going to be a good basketball team. They're going to be a tough out in March State. But boy, it can be. If I was a Duke fan, I'd be frustrated as hell watching this team. How their offense is especially tonight. It was just Paolo would catch, he would jab step, take a couple dribbles, throw it up against the glass, catches
a lot of
lobs. Dunk it.
I mean, this team is all lobs and step backs.
Yeah, it was. It's so
and in and out dribbles. A lot of in and out dribbles.
I don't know what. If we're resetting the expectations for Duke, I don't know, because I really do think it's a genuine concern that Duke is not going to play an actual good team.
Yeah.
An actually Final Four good team.
Miami looks like the best team in the ACC, and going into the ACC season, Miami was already written off. So, I mean, that's where we are in the ACC, where Duke was the one, and now they are, we don't know.
They're still the one.
They're still the one. But you're still are they actually going to win the regular season? Because right now Miami has the fast track to win the regular season.
Right.
They blow out Carolina and they beat Duke. I mean, they look great so far, and their one loss is against Florida State, and that game is a 1-point loss. So Miami is the team that inspires hope, but nationally, Miami was already written off. So that's the other part of the ACC. You have no team to really sell to the general mass public other than Duke. And Duke is, like you said, I mean, we know that they have a lot of talented players, but really, is Jeremy Roach the guy? Is he really going to be this Duke point guard that we've seen in the lineage of a Jay Williams and stuff? And if they're going to have...
He's not. Spoiler alert, he's not.
He's not. And if they're going to have a guy who's going to become the Daniel Ewing or DeMarcus Nelson, whatever, that secondary guy like an A.J. Griffin, he has to be more involved in what they're going to do from, top to bottom. And that changes the philosophy of who they are, because who they are right now is primary option, Paolo. Sometimes we throw lobs to Mark Williams, but we basically, we're playing ISO basketball, and they're going to have to, Coach K is famous for the motion offense, right? We're going to have to see some changes to this offense.
When Duke is rolling, they make it look easy because they're so talented, but it's not easy for them. Even offense, they're great in transition. Obviously, they're great.
Look at their highlights. It's Paolo Banchero driving into a double team, shooting up the ball, him missing, him getting his rebound, and then throwing down a thunderous dunk. Like
I know.
And it's a great play at the end of the day, but it's like improvised.
A lot of
improvised.
Boy, a lot of ball stoppers on this team. There's not a lot of swinging it around and driving.
That's why you're right about Keels, though, because if you take Keels out, maybe there's one less of those as we swing it around the perimeter and everybody's got to get in their dribble and their step back. Maybe there's one less.
I don't know. I mean, and then even the zone was working, but like, was it like
it's a very uninspired.
It was an uninspiring zone. I don't like Duke is going to be. They're a stereotypical team of what like people that don't like really follow college basketball would say that Duke and Kentucky and say like a Memphis are year after year, which is like they're loaded on talent. I'm not going to say they're poorly coached because Coach K is the greatest coach of all time. This is his last season, and that would be ridiculous for me to say that. But it does feel like when they're good, when they're winning, it's just pure talent. And take like a game like Gonzaga. That's the highlight of Duke's season so far, right? They play Gonzaga on a neutral court. Gonzaga is the new number one in college basketball. They were the old number one in college basketball at the time that they played Duke. The way that Gonzaga plays is inviting to Duke's makeup. You know what I mean? Like it just took on the feel of an NBA game. And when that is the feel of the game, Duke can rise to that level because they have insane talent across the board. But then you get a game like Florida State where you have like they're mucking it up a little bit.
Yeah. When you're getting mucked, you can't buck.
And I don't know. So like that's the concern with Duke is because a lot of like we'll get to this in a second too, talking big picture. Like every single team has flaws. That's become the narrative of this season is there's no great teams. Every team is beatable. So the fact that Duke has weaknesses is not necessarily the problem. Tate. The question becomes moving forward, how do you address these weaknesses? How do you get better? They don't have a point guard. I don't think they're going to get a point guard. I don't know how they're really going to solve that.
Maybe Keels is the point guard.
Maybe, I guess. That's what worries me about Duke is like some of their issues. I don't necessarily think they're going to iron them out. I think they're just it's going to have like a 2019 feel to it where it's like, we're just going to beat you because we're better than you across the, like our five are better than your five. It's like Pee Wee basketball where you line up against from the guy that you're guarding, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, me versus him, I can beat him. And then you look at your teammate, you're like, you can beat him. You can beat him. All right, we're going to win.
Inspires confidence.
Yeah. Like that's how Duke's going to win games.
But there's multiple times when you're watching a Duke game where you look out there and there's two elite talents and then three scrubs. You know what I mean? For lack of a better term. I mean, like that is the problem that they have too, where it's like, it's not even, you know, it's a very top heavy team.
Yeah.
And when a game becomes a college game, which like you talked about Gonzaga, you get to play a spaced out game. You have space, you have operating space. It's nice. It's fun. But when you play an ACC game, you know, in Tallahassee, and there's a lot of length and there's not a lot of space, that's when it becomes a muck game.
The other fear I have is with the ACC so bad.
Where's the test?
There's going to be a lot of mucking.
Yeah.
It's like you get a team like Florida, like maybe Florida State of last year, the year before, like this run of great Florida State teams we've seen under Leonard Hamilton recently.
Yeah.
Maybe if they're like favored going into this game, I don't know what the line was. I assume Duke was favored by a few. But like if this was a Florida State team that we actually feel like could compete for a Final Four or whatever, maybe they played a little differently. Maybe they're like, we're better than Duke. We don't need to do it, you know? But like every single game that Duke's going to play in the ACC, the other team is going to be like, they're better than us, so we have to muck it up.
And not only are they better than us, they are our one chance to get the quality win to get us to the tournament.
Yes.
So it's like we have to give them our best chance. We have to give them our best swing. And if we don't, we've wasted our one opportunity to get to the tournament.
Right.
And Duke has to play that game every single night.
This is so fascinating. What a fascinating dynamic.
And what is Coach K really like? What does Coach K do if it does, like we've joked about,
falls apart?
No, if it goes completely sideways, like if they don't win the ACC regular season, they're going to win the ACC tournament. We know that. So let's go ahead and shoot that in. But like, let's say they're a 3 seed or a 2 seed and they go into the tournament and they don't have this path that's paved for them.
Yeah.
That will be fascinating because if that happens, Coach K is coming back. That's a fact. And you heard it here first. When it all gets reported later in the summer that Coach K's thinking about coming back, you know, he wants one more. Just know that you heard it here first. I see it on his face.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't who I thought we are not who we thought we were.
He's definitely not dying inside as much as like I thought he might if the season's sort of unraveled.
If it really was the last year.
If it really is last year. Yeah. Like he would be slowly dying a little more.
He would have snapped.
But the counter to that is Keels gets hurt.
He has an excuse. You're right.
So K goes out to console Keels, and one thing I didn't see while Keels was on the ground and K was consoling him was the Duke managers running out there with the towels, hide the cameras from being able to see Trevor Keels and Coach K. And that to me feels like a farewell tour play. That K was like, stay on the bench, let the cameras get me putting my hand on Keels' chest because I'm a good guy and I'm going to heal this man with my powers, with my witchcraft.
I could see like on 60 Minutes where they show Coach K like how much he's grown as a coach. Once known as one of the hardest coaches to play for, and now he's the player's coach. It's like Coach K patting him.
He's like Bob Huggins with Deshaun Butler. like trying to make it.
That was still the craziest moment in college basketball history.
That's the all-time consoling. Yeah,
that's all time. I love my players.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it.
Maybe a little too much. In retrospect.
How much is too much?
When Bob Huggins at the Final Four stood up and started zipping his pants down, I was like, Bob, this is crossed the line. Come on, this is too much.
Hey there, thanks for watching Titus and Tate. For the full friend of the program experience, subscribe right below and come join us for all things college basketball. The action is heating up. Come join Titus and Tate.